the ticket and them trying to sue you and your company is very, very high. What up? Hello, guys. So we're gonna do a different video today. Basically, I want to go over some of the things that I didn't know about trucking before I got into trucking, and if I had known these things, it might have changed my my decision to get involved in trucking. So here we go. All right, so the truth behind getting your CDL and becoming a truck driver. So I wrote down some things because I had a lot on my mind, so I wrote some stuff down. So please bear with me while we go over these things one by one. All right, so the first, easy to get your CDL, but very difficult to get adequate training. So there's so many trucking companies out there that are offering CDL training to help you get your CDL, which is awesome. It's amazing. And from what I've experienced, they do pretty good with teaching you how to get your CDL, how to pass the CDL exam. But what doesn't happen, and I can't say this doesn't happen all the time, but I've seen so often with myself and plenty of others, and I think especially if you're a woman, you will find that getting training after that, like learning how to do the actual job, is not so good. And I mean, it's bad for men and women, but I think it's especially more difficult for women because there is a point where you have to go out on the road with a trainer to train you how to do your job. Well, there's not a lot of women in trucking. And out of those who are in trucking, a lot of them are kind of iffy about having to work with another female, another woman on a truck. You know, just it's a bunch of extra. So not only is it this video, I should make a separate video that's specifically for women, but and I'll touch on some of that while we're in here. But anyway, you have to deal with trying to get training. You have to be able to get along with someone, because while you're in training, it's not a, okay, 8 a.m., meet me at the truck, 5 p.m., we go home. No, it's typically, hey, we're going to be going out training with each other for 2 to 3 weeks. I've seen for most companies, it's 2 to 3 weeks. However, if you're with Prime Inc., like I was, that's about 3 to 4 months on the road with someone. So you better be real comfortable and real cool with that person. And a lot of times when, for my experience, when I was at Prime Inc. training with them, a lot of the men didn't want to have to train with a woman. One reason that they brought up, which I felt was pretty valid, is that they didn't want to have any situations where the woman's like, oh, he made me feel uncomfortable, he touched me, or he rubbed me, or he made derogatory statements, or some stuff like that. I didn't have that experience. I got off the truck with my person just because we was kind of like oil and water, and it was male and female, but we was definitely like oil and water. That was not working out. Plus, he wasn't training anyway. He was just having me drive. So anyway, y'all check out some other videos to learn about it. I ain't about to get back into that again. But anyway, so like I'm saying, it's hard to get adequate training that covers things like coupling and uncoupling from your truck. Meaning, for some of you who are very new, the coupling, uncoupling is hooking to your trailer and disconnecting from your trailer. I know plenty of people that didn't even know how to really pump gas, how to pull up to the truck stop, the gas station, and properly pump the tanks, fill a reefer, which is for the new people, is refrigerated trailer. So a lot of people didn't even know how to do stuff like that. Just things like that. I'm trying to think of some other things that you just don't really get training for. Just checking in and out of a shipper, managing your clock properly so that you can make the most money, but also be safe and get adequate sleep. Like, you don't get training for that. I would say even proper techniques to pull over when you need to pull over to the side of the road, or you're having mechanical issues. Like, now I've been through a couple of companies because I was trying to get training at different places. But anyway, so I've been through a couple of companies training, like they're training videos. And some of them, I think one had like a video on how to properly get off the road if you got mechanical issues. So thankfully I got that from another company that's not even the company I'm currently with. But so yeah, there's having hard time getting adequate job training. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Oh, you're at fault. Even though you work for a company or whatever, you are at fault for everything. So that includes not managing your time correctly. If you get pulled over by DOT and your logs are messed up, or you didn't put something in there correctly. Most of us on electronic devices. So for whatever reason you didn't put something in there correctly, or you ran over your time, whatever it is, you get that ticket. Now, I think the company might also get some sort of fine, but whatever ticket that you get also, you have to pay for that, or they'll put you out of service. So you got that. You got people on the road. You're driving on the road. There's somebody cuts you off or does something stupid, and you get in an accident. The likeliness of you getting a ticket and them trying to sue you and your company is very, very high. No matter how crazy the other person was driving, the probability of them suing you is very high. Yeah, the hours, accidents, maintaining your truck, making sure, that comes with you do your daily pre-trip and your post-trip, but you have to look after your truck, because if you're out on the road and you get broke down, maintenance or whoever you work for, the ability for them to come and help you out immediately is very, very slim. So you got to maintain and look after your truck. All right, so you get your CDL, you are at fault for everything. Oh, also very important, what I did learn is that when you are a commercial driver and you get access, especially if it's a pretty bad accident, the possibility of you going to jail if you were negligent in any type of way is high. So going to jail. I didn't know that was like one of the things, but it is a very prominent thing that you should take into consideration. All right. Next thing is, we already talked about the fines. You'll be the one paying those, not your company. For those of you who are getting into this because you feel like, hey, I'm introverted, this would be the perfect job for me, please consider this. Ask yourself this: are you introverted because you just got too much going on and sometimes you just need time to yourself? Are you introverted because you kind of like shy? Or are you introverted because you like really, 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 really love being around yourself? Because if it's any of the two first ones, like you just need time to yourself because you got too much going on, or you're a little shy, you may not really, really know that how serious being alone is. When you're out here, you are very much alone. So you may think you're introverted and you may think you like time to yourself, but you might find that you don't like that much time to yourself. Okay. I've heard that from several people, like even myself, like I'm definitely introverted. Like I make these videos, I do all this stuff, but for the most part, I'm introverted. Like I do like talking to people, but I kind of like want to go back and do my own thing pretty quickly. So being out here alone, and sometimes it gets a little weird. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like, okay, I don't mind being by myself, but sometimes it feels like, I don't know, it just starts to feel weird after a while. So anyway, if you think you like time alone and by yourself, you bet to be sure of that. Now, what some people do is they get like a pet. If your company allows you to have a pet, my company does not. If your company allows you to have a pet, get your little doggy, something of that sort. I even seen a lady the other day with a pig. I thought that was pretty cute. She had the pig. She was walking her pig. So get your little pig or something, I don't know. Some of these animals be eating on stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, your company better be cool with it. So Get you an animal, something like that. That might help with being out here on the road and being alone. Figuring out creative ways to go to the bathroom when there is no bathroom readily available, or there might be a porta potty available that looks like some massacre occurred in it, and you'd be better off going to go to the bathroom in the bushes with a bobcat or something trying to rip you apart, because it's a struggle. The bathroom thing, especially for women, the bathroom thing is a struggle in and of itself. I feel like that's the two things I'm really getting paid for out here. I feel like this is the two things I'm really getting paid for out here, is finding places to go to the bathroom, and I'm getting paid to figure out how to get the most sleep no matter what's going on. Like, I feel like that's really my job, is figure out how to get sleep and to go to the bathroom. That's what I feel like I work for. So next thing, let's see. The big paydays. You'll see on here all the time companies advertising, 80K, 100K. Not if you're new. If you're new, like you're a new driver, you're probably going to be closer around the 50K mark. You get up into like the 75 to 100K mark. Now you can get around 70 if you're doing, if you're working with some of the companies that are local, and you're not only driving, but you're also loading your truck and unloading your truck. That's when you get up until, like, for your first year, you start getting around the 70K mark. If you're just doing like I do, mostly is dropping hooks or what they call bumping docks, like all I do is really drive, you're going to be more around the 50K mark. Now, mind you, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. There's not many jobs you're going to get into with, I say a low level of entry. Getting your CDL, for the most part, if you consider it's a low level entry, you not making 50K right off the bat. So, I mean, it's still a good field to get into, but don't be letting nobody tell you about to be jumping out here making 70K and 100K in your first year. Most of that comes like around year 2, especially if you get into like specialty areas, like getting your hazmat or tanker or something like that. You can probably get more into the 100K then. But as a new person working for a company, honey, please, you ain't about to see no 100K. Trying to think what else I want to say about that 100K. I mean, you can do owner operator and kind of like what they say, get it out the mud. You might be able to do 100K. It's going to be hard. Your first year, there's so much to learn that you ain't even thought about that you need to learn. Once you get in the business and you realize it, it's a struggle. And I would not put that pressure on myself to be like, let me make 100K my first year. I advise you not to do that to yourself. Next thing, strain on your home relationships. Once again, going back to the being alone thing, you better make sure you really, really, really like being alone. So your home relationships, you have to work diligently, because the company is not going to do it for you. It's not like a regular 9 to 5 where you clock in, you clock out, you take your sick days, you do vacations. Like, you have to really put forth effort out here, because you're really kind of like your own employer. So you have to put effort out here to make sure you're maintaining your relationships at home. If you got relationships at home, FaceTime your people. I mean, really, if you can FaceTime and talk to somebody every day, I suggest you do that. I really do. I really think you should FaceTime or call somebody every day. And not like literally like call, not just text people, call people, stay in contact with people. My daughter's in this business as well, and me and her were talking about, we notice struggles with actually having conversations with people. And it's like, dang, I mean, I ain't even been out here 6 months, and I'm already like, I'm noticing that, like, I just prefer to just not say anything anymore. And it's like, that's weird, when I usually wouldn't have a problem talking. Now I'll just be like, whatever. Forget conversation with other humans, like, you should, I mean, it's a struggle. So make sure you're talking to people every single day. If you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, look, That's going to be a struggle. If y'all ain't really locked down some commitment and stuff, that little piece of hair is kind of annoying me. If y'all ain't locked down some commitment and stuff, that's going to be a struggle. So make sure your relationships are solid with people before you come out here, or decide that, hey, maybe I should not be trying to manage a relationship, because you can't be. The one thing I did know, so when I had a situation that happened with a family member and I was out here on the road, you really cannot afford to be distracted out here. And that's mentally, I'm sounding like one of my company videos. Mental distractions can really be harmful to you. It really can. You don't want to be out here worried about what your significant other is back at the house doing, or out here arguing with them. Like, you really ain't got time for that. So if you ain't got a solid relationship with somebody before you come out here, you might look. I ain't trying to tell people to break up with folks, but it might serve you to rearrange that or restructure that relationship. Okay. Next thing, sleep deprivation. So here's the thing. Nobody should be out here driving fatigued or drowsy. That is true. But what happens is, even when you do get sleep, sometimes you're sleeping in all these weird places where you're asleep, but your body's not fully relaxing and getting a full deep sleep. You're asleep, but you're still a little aware. So you really got to work on trying to get as much sleep as possible. Or even, what I know is what works best for me, if I schedule guaranteed times of the day that I sleep, so where I train my entire body to say, hey, at this time we start shutting down because we're going to sleep now, versus trying to get 2 hours here, an hour over here. I have a set time where my body knows we sleep. So everything functions in my body to know that this is the time we shut down. We don't eat after this certain period of time. We don't get hungry until this certain. So figure out a good sleep schedule. I highly suggest not getting like 2 here, 3 here, because I did that for like a couple of weeks and that was terrible. What has been working for me the best is, even if I only get 5 or 6 hours, if I get that 5 or 6 hours at a certain time of the day every day, I'm much more well rested than I am trying to grab a few hours here and grab a few hours there. But if you happen to be on the road and you're tired, see if you can just pull over and shut your body down for a little bit. Just take a quick little 40-minute nap if you can. And honestly, no matter what shipper you going to or what you're getting ready to do, a 40-minute delay ain't gonna hurt nobody. Okay, so, and I say 40 minutes, but you can definitely take longer than that if you need to, and you should. But 40 minutes ain't gonna hurt nobody. Just let your company know, I'm tired, I need to sleep for a little bit, I'm gonna be a little bit late, I gotta take an extra hour and get this quick little cat nap in. So do that. Next thing, staying healthy. So we all know you're driving all the time. There's a lot of places you go to. Thankfully, right now I'm in a rest area. I can walk around. They got a little walking trail and everything. But this is not always. A lot of times I'm stuck at a shipper or receiver or whatever, and I cannot, I really can't walk around unless I'm about to be running from 8 other semi trucks driving through. So you're not always able to get exercise. But what I do suggest, like, I got myself this little like stepper that I can just do steps and just get some type of blood pumping in your body. So you got to be diligent. Some of these things I'm mentioning, you have to be diligent about putting the effort into, because it's much easier to just lay up in this truck or sit up in this truck, watch stuff on your phone, laptop, have a TV mounted, just vegging out. But there's some things you really got to be diligent at. You got to be diligent at bringing your own food, the little healthier options. You got to be diligent at getting some form of exercise. So, oh, I see my little note. Hand washing. Wash your hands, y'all. Wash your hands, because think about all the people that's coming through these high traffic areas, like the truck stops, the rest areas, the shipper and receivers. If you want to be able to keep making your money, you can't be sick. So wash your hands. Make sure you're washing your hands, and sleep. That helps too. And the last one. So this one I just thought about. I was like, yeah, I was talking to my daughter about that. I was like, yeah, I think this is true. You don't really know this when you get out here. When you get out here, other truck drivers do not like other truck drivers. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we're all on our own little journey, and a lot of times everybody just act like you're in their way. And sometimes you feel like they just in your way. So when you're new, then you might feel intimidated by that. Like, oh, no, these people, you're new and they were once new too. So what you do is you take your time and you make sure what you're doing, you're checking off all the boxes when you're at a fuel stop, whatever, checking to make sure your kingpin is still intact and that you can do your little kingpin tug test. Do everything you need to do. These people will be all right. They'll survive. You take your time. You watch your trailer. Don't get out here trying to drive like you've been driving for 12 years and you've only been driving for 3 months. Like, take your time. Watch your trailer. Don't allow nobody to make you feel rushed when you're doing your backing maneuvers. Take your time. They can go around. I be having people at our lot where we go to switch our trailers getting mad, like, especially like my first week or two, somebody drove around my truck real fast. I'm like, that's stupid on your behalf, because if you see that I'm struggling, you probably shouldn't drive around me fast, because I obviously look like I don't know what I'm doing. So, but take your time, take care of yourself. Let me know if you all have any other questions about starting and getting your CDL, questions about being out here on the road, different concerns that you have. Let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm trying to wrap up this video. It's already 20 minutes long. And thank you for stopping by. Please give me a like and subscribe for more content from me. And you guys have a great day. And I will chit chat with you guys later. Bye-bye for now.